you lost the Olympics because I'm sorry, what?
It's a problem I've lived with my entire life.
Oh boy.
I feel bad for the guy.
Oh geez, of course you do. If you've tuned in to see if you can argue with your spouse and still be madly in love, you're in the right spot.
I'm Kent.
And I'm Annie.
And we're the Kilkos. Sound like a game show.
We're your host of Life's Little Arguments. We're not trained experts in love and marriage. Actually, we might be quite dysfunctional, but we have been happily married for 16 years.
Debatable.
Not only will we share all the ups and downs of marriage, but the ins and outs of raising his and her kids, growing through new jobs and opportunities, and our latest obsession, our empty nest babies, our dogs, Blakely and Lincoln.
So if you hear ding, ding, ding across the microphone, they're probably walking across the floor.
Listen in each week while we discuss our life, current events, random TikToks, and the little arguments that undoubtedly come up. Whether you're in a long-term relationship yourself or in a fresh new relationship, we hope you find our podcast fun, entertaining, and helps you realize there is a normal in life's little arguments. Hey, babe.
What's up? This is podcast number 5, episode number 5.
You keep saying that. I need to go back and look. I'm not 100% sure.
I'm 100% positive it is. Because the last one is the one that you finally named, or numbered, I should say, EP number 4, because I was like, people are going to get confused about what order they're in. So I know for a fact this is 5. And I'm stoked to be here with you, as always.
Well, I'm leveling back out because I'm going to be honest, there's no reason to even lie about it. You had me activated right before.
I'm already past it though.
Yeah, right, exactly.
She's holding on to something that happened she's holding on to something that happened like 7 minutes ago.
Oh my God.
There's no time like the present.
You're on my nerves. You're on my
yes,
nerves
ma'am.
already.
Yes, ma'am. Again.
Anyway.
I'm the talent. My job is to create life's little arguments.
I swear to God, if there were scissors near me, I would stab you with them right now.
So can we talk about this Olympic guy?
This is the craziest thing.
He and I have a lot in common.
Okay.
First
of all.
Forgive his name, country, and all that stuff.
First of all. So he is a French pole vaulter. Did I say that right? Why was that hard for me to say?
Because you never use the word pole vaulter otherwise.
And his name is Anthony something. I don't.
Anthony Big Dick Pole Vaulter.
Basically, that's what's going to be on his LinkedIn. So if you need to find him on LinkedIn,
Anthony Big Dick Pole Vaulter. This guy's life is changed. He did not win gold, obviously.
No,
but I guarantee
he didn't medal.
Whatever. He is going to come out on top of all this. I promise you.
He did not medal because his dick got caught on a stick.
His dick got caught on a stick. Hashtag dick caught on a stick.
Hashtag dick caught on a stick. Oh my God. I cannot imagine. And it's not like, back in the day where you didn't have phones everywhere. Yeah. They are everywhere now.
And the camera quality is such that there's no mistaking. I mean, it's not like the butt might have hit it or the hip hit it. I mean, the camera clearly shows.
It clearly shows. It very clearly shows.
So there are showers and there are growers. He apparently is a shower.
He is a shower.
I suspect, unless
I have watched this TikTok. I can't tell you how many times, just because I'm in such shock.
Yeah.
I'm in such shock because first of all, I'm thinking, okay, so you didn't have tighter underwear that you could wear. I mean, he clearly is not wearing a jock strap. I mean, I don't know if that's a thing anymore.
He wasn't wearing boxers either, though. I mean, I think the guy was trying. I mean,
I think he was just freeballing it, but he clearly needed something, and somebody was not looking out for him. Somebody did not have his back. Someone should have told him, listen, dude, that right there, that thing's a monster, and it's going to be a problem.
I mean, I can't help but respect the guy. Now, I don't know what. Tell me his name again. Anthony Big Dick.
Anthony Big Dick
Pole Vaulter. I don't know how he feels about porn and so forth, but if he's not opposed to it, he will make a lot of money in the adult entertainment industry.
Will he though?
Guarantee.
Is there a lot?
See what I did there? Is there a lot of money? Well, there used to be. I don't know if there is anymore because it's so readily available. I don't know that they make the kind of money they used to. But.
Well, I suppose if he gets an OnlyFans, he doesn't have to go porn. Yeah. He literally could just go OnlyFans.
It will be very interesting to see. The memes are going crazy.
God almighty. The TikToks I have seen on this are hilarious.
So let me tell you, I played sports growing up. Obviously, you know that. I mean, I've had a broken collarbone, broken wrist.
Everybody you know knows you
concussion.
played sports because you make sure
No,
to bring that up in conversation.
they tell me. They're like, hey, this kid, blah, blah, blah. Anyways, let me tell you about the strangest injury I ever had. I was playing baseball.
Wait, hold on. We're not going to be referring to your body parts, are we? Like him?
Not in the same exact way.
Okay.
Because I'm not Big Dick Richard Big Dick pole vaulter. I'm can't average. Okay, no. But seriously, all jokes aside, I was playing baseball. I think we were warming up for the game. I had a cup on, and a ground ball came, and it got up under my cup, and it hit me in the balls, and I mean immediate pain. I mean immediate down to the ground pain. And I basically, I think I ran off the field with it, and they're like pulling my pants up, like trying to bounce me, whatever. I reached down there because it hurt so bad. I reached down there and I feel a ball missing. I go from 2 balls to 1 ball. And imagine at 16 to 18 years old, I don't even know exactly how old I was. Imagine at 16 to 18 years old and you reach down there and a ball is missing. I flip out. Full on panic mode. It made it hurt even more, yada, yada, yada. Next thing you know, I'm kind of reaching around there and it had gotten pushed up in
where?
Like the pubic area, I guess is what you say. I don't know. Basically, it felt like it was in my chest. So anyways, I pushed it down and it just...
Not the sound effect.
It just popped out.
Oh my God.
But anyways, so I'm 45. So that was, let's just say 15, 16 years old, whatever. 30 years ago, that will now, and you know this.
That's the trigger
yeah,
event?
you know this. Like sometimes if I'm laying on my side or something will happen, it'll get pushed up in there.
Yeah.
30 years ago, that injury happened, and it still will affect me to this day.
That's
crazy. Isn't that crazy?
That is
Worst
crazy.
injury I ever had. That's why they play flag football these days with kids, even though that was baseball.
Wow, that's interesting. Well, I'm. It's nice to see that you and Mr. Olympian.
But please have some respect.
Something.
His name is Richard Big Dick pole vaulter.
Well, his first name is Anthony.
Oh, why do I keep saying Richard? Because that's the name for Dick, probably.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, Anthony. Yeah.
His name is Anthony. Well, poor Anthony. You have made TikTok gold. It has been fantastic for my algorithm. So, sir, I salute you. So I am, if anyone hears me moving around in my chair, I apologize because I probably will be moaning, and it is not a good moan. Let me just tell you, I decided that I needed a booty for vacation, which happens in less than 5 weeks.
Annie has no acetol disease.
I got 0 acetol. I mean, it's wide, but it does not pop at all. There's nothing to pop. So I downloaded this, recipe thing from this, I don't know, I found it on TikTok, whatever. She looks like she's lost a lot of weight, whatever. And so her food looks appetizing to me, which, I'm a very picky eater and I don't do well with that stuff. But I downloaded hers because I thought it looks appetizing. I can eat it. And well, it comes with like 1 free full body workout because she sells her workouts as well. And I should have known by looking at this girl that this was not the workout for me. I should not have done this workout because when I did it, I kept telling myself, keep going. You can do this. You can do hard things, Annie. Keep going. You can do hard things. As I'm like dying on the floor, like ready to puke. Matter of fact, I put that on my story. I'm like, when you
I saw that, yeah.
Yeah, when you've gone to the gym and
I'm proud of you though.
You've done too much. Well, I was proud of me as well. I did not make it through the entire workout. There was like 9 minutes left and I just could not keep going. And when I got home, I knew why. Like I had hurt my back. So clearly I should not have been doing squats without first giving myself a core. I have no core. I have 0 core. And I feel like that's probably why I hurt my back. So as soon as I got home, I'm popping the ibuprofen
TENS
and
unit,
BioFreeze.
We did it all.
Oh my God. And I'm still like hurting. So if I sit
and legs are hard. Legs are hard to get back into the gym for anyways, period.
Yes. Why the hell
I don't
did
know.
I think
because
that
you
was a
didn't
good
consult
idea?
with me.
No,
if you got up in the morning and went with me, you would not have had this problem.
Well, that's true. We would definitely have not done legs.
No, I do legs once a week.
Okay.
You better back up.
Okay.
I don't do the workout you did, clearly.
Okay, yeah.
But guess what?
Well,
I can bend down and touch my toes.
Okay, so it said full body workout. It was not a full body workout. We were working my ass the entire time, just about. So, yeah. So if you hear me moving around my chair, that is why, because I'm in pain. So hopefully we'll move past that. But, other stuff we've done. So I had a first this week.
Is this our weekly summary? I wasn't sure. Okay.
Do I need to spell it out?
For me, yes. For everyone else, probably not.
Okay, geez. So I was invited to do a lunch and learn this past Friday with a realtor. So that was kind of exciting. And it started out, so this is somebody that I work with. I do videos for her. She's a client of mine. And last time I went to do content for her, we started geeking out about AI stuff. She started talking about it. And I was like, oh my gosh, I love it. I love ChatGPT and this is what it can do. And this is how I use it. And we got really excited talking about it. So she's like, oh, I would love for you to come to this lunch and learn that I'm doing, because that's what I'm going to be talking about. I'm like, okay, cool. I can do that. I can easily talk forever about ChatGPT, Gemini, all that stuff. And so that's how it started out. And then 2 days before it happened, she sends me a text. She's like, okay, so, because I'm like, what are you going to talk about? Because I don't want to talk about the same things. It needs to be different stuff. And she's like, okay, so I'm really only going to talk about one thing. I'm super excited about it. So really, it's just going to be you talking. And I was like, okay.
That's what we call bait and switch right there.
It is definitely a bait and switch.
Yes.
Which was completely fine. I mean, I had a good time. I don't enjoy putting myself out in those situations. I'm definitely an introvert. For those of you that don't know that already, I am an introvert. I am an introvert at heart. I'm an extroverted introvert, but I am an introvert nonetheless. I do not enjoy going out and meeting new people. I do not enjoy networking events. And that's why I married you, so that I could have you to go do those things.
I'm your support system. You're welcome.
You are my safe zone for sure. You're my warm, fuzzy blanket in those situations. So I did that. So that was kind of cool. And I did take a video, so I'll have to figure out if I'm going to do anything with that. We had a really busy weekend. And we just went nonstop, I felt like.
Socially a busy weekend.
Socially a very busy weekend. We were with friends nonstop.
Friday night,
Saturday. Yeah. I did that thing on Friday. That was people-y. And then we went to dinner with friends and drinks, and that was people-y, which is fun. I love that. And then Saturday we did it again. And then it turned into coming and playing games here. We played Incoherent. Here at the house Saturday night.
Which, by the way, I felt like we owned that game. I think as a group we missed one card. It seemed exceptionally easy the other day.
It did seem a little easier, and I don't know.
It's because we had 3 people on each team, maybe versus 1 or 2. I don't know.
Maybe subconsciously, because you and I had played a little bit before with the kids. Maybe we had seen some of the cards, and maybe we just knew. I don't know, but.
Maybe we have some exceptionally smart friends.
Yeah, maybe we're freaking the bomb. Who knows? But we definitely need a more advanced version of that. But that was a lot of fun. So then we wake up Sunday morning, and you're like, hey, first I'm talking woke me up out of bed. My eyes, I'm out of my allergy pills, so my eyes are swollen. I'm crusty. I'm not ready to be awake. I'm tired because Lincoln was not been sleeping. And you wake me up, and the first thing you say to me is,
let's go play pickleball. Now, keep in mind, we call her plans drunk plans, because Annie is notorious for, let's do this, let's do that while she's drunk. And then, even though you weren't really drunk the night before.
And even though I did not say yes the night before either.
Yeah, but you didn't say no either.
Okay, so
that's kind of like a yes.
No, it's not. No.
So anyhow, I woke up thinking we're going to go play pickleball, and
my answer was absolutely not.
She's peopled out.
No. I'm peopled
Understandably.
out. It's been very people-y. I don't want anyone. Actually, I don't even want you to talk to me. I need quiet.
You made that very clear.
I want you to leave me alone. I want Lauren to leave me alone. I want the dogs to leave me alone. I want quiet. I want everyone to get out of my space. I have got to recharge.
Me, Annie, and Lauren ate breakfast together on Sunday. I think the McDonald's or something like that. Anyhow, I had made a comment about Annie's disposition, her disposition that day. And Lauren's first words were, "Oh, you noticed that too?" I was like, yes, absolutely.
I had it. I had been done.
Yeah,
I was
fair enough.
I needed
Friday and Saturday's a lot.
It was a lot for me. So, but we had a good time. It was a good weekend. So something else that I have really gotten into today is this on TikTok. I've gone a little bit down a rabbit hole of this whole, it's Miranda and Hannah. And it's this back and forth between these two chicks that were apparently neighbors and like best friends. And apparently both like freaking ridiculous follower amounts, like almost 1 million followers, I think, for one of them on TikTok. The one chick slept with the other chick's husband, and the one chick who slept with the other chick's husband, her husband looks like he's 70, like, and she's like 21, like she looks very young. So this has been a whole thing and sort of consumed me. Have you heard anything about that?
The only thing I heard was just it's popping up, and I asked you, had you heard about it? Because I had not gone down that rabbit hole, and it seemed like quite a bit, but I thought that it was quote unquote pop culture, so I thought it'd be good for the podcast. So I said, hey, have you heard of it? You were like, no. Next thing you know, we're actually out walking the dogs when I asked you about it, and then 2 hours later, you were fully vested in it.
Well, I had to, because when you tell me about these things, but you don't really look at them. You don't listen, you don't look. So you really have zero details. You tell like one thing.
Sure.
And then I have to actually go find the whole story, because what the one thing you told me is usually not even correct because you don't pay attention. Anyway.
That's fair. As talent, I just join in on a conversation when you bring it up.
Talent one more time, that life insurance is going to be coming to me a lot quicker than expected.
Y'all heard that here, folks.
So anyway, that's a whole situation that they are now playing out on TikTok. And the one chick she said that she's separated from her husband now. So we'll see if, I'm sure I don't know that it's gotten enough steam yet to be completely on everybody's algorithm. And maybe it has, maybe I'm late to the party.
The tail end now. I don't know.
Possibly. I don't really know. But anyway, so I thought because of their situation that, you know, she's talking, she's doing like her story time or whatever. And she's saying something about how she found out, and she saying like, this was a red flag. And I thought, oh, red flags. We should talk about if we have red flags.
Oh yeah. I've got some red flags. Dun, 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 dun. In fact, I have double tide, or double, what do they call it at the ocean, where it's like the double red flag?
I don't know that.
What is it called where it pulls you out?
The riptide.
Riptide. I have double riptide red flags for you.
Oh, wow.
I'm just teasing. Not too bad.
So we put together some what should have been red flags, and we probably should have ran the other way.
I wish y'all could see, like, you know, you have notes on you have the notes app on your phone.
Uh-huh.
Well, Annie and I have notes together, and literally it's so funny because
I feel so cool, by the way, that we shared this.
Like
note.
if we think of something during the day, or we talk about something, we're like, let's add it to the notes, and then we add it, and whatever one person adds, it goes to the next. But anyways, I'll start this red flag conversation.
Please do. I cannot wait to hear these.
This is something that I probably should have thought a little harder about. But when we first got together, I don't know the year or anything like that, but some friends of ours, Corey and Margaret, were getting married, and it was... No.
Let's back up. Let's tell this story correctly, because I know where you're going with this. You say friends of ours. They are friends of ours now.
Okay, yeah, but mainly, so Corey and I grew up together. We've known each other since junior high.
I did not know anyone. This was like our first out of town.
That's a very
date.
fair point. I should have led with that.
This is how new that we were.
And now that you say that, I feel bad making this a red flag.
You should,
because maybe it shouldn't be a red flag. But anyhow, let's just say what happened. So anyhow, we go to our first kind of out of town thing.
A wedding.
It's a nice wedding
that you're in, by the way.
Yeah, I'm in the wedding, and
I know no one.
I get dressed or whatever.
I know no one.
Annie knows no one, and remember, she's an introvert, so her wavy blanket, i.e., me, was not there with her. So anyway, she's getting ready, and Annie does good with makeup, right? But she's not like, she doesn't overdo her makeup, and she's not like, cake it on and all that stuff, which I like. I like the way she looks. With or without makeup, but she was doing a smoky eye that night.
The fact that you were like coming up with these words is
killing me. I happened to, before I left to go to the wedding or whatever, I look over and I was like, Did you do something different with your makeup? Y'all, instant
tears.
Instant tears, instant level of stress,
tears.
instant anxiety, instant everything. Almost went into full-on panic mode.
I almost left. I literally almost packed up and left.
Yeah, all I did, guys, I said, did you do something different with your makeup? I keep in mind, I had not seen her with the smoky eye yet. And hindsight, it looked great. I just simply asked a question. That's all I did was ask a question. And next thing you know, she was ready to leave. Where were we, Savannah, I think?
Yeah, we were out of town. So first of all, okay, let me set the stage because I don't feel like you said it very well. First of all, these are your friends that I had met, I think, one time beforehand. We were going to a wedding where I knew no one. This is pretty fresh. You're very recently divorced at this particular point in time. And so I think it was a situation of...
You had a lot of pressure on you.
There was a lot of pressure. Well, they invited you because you were in the wedding, but then your ex, who was friends with them, I suppose, was no longer invited, I think, was also the issue. It was a lot of pressure, and not knowing anybody, it was high anxiety for me. I didn't feel confident about myself. I didn't know. I had no one to ask, like, what should I wear? Like, what's the dress code? Because everything I asked you were like, I don't know. That'll probably work. I mean, I'm in the wedding, so this is what I'm wearing. I'm like, that's not helping me.
I feel like shit right now. I tell you, this is no longer a red flag of mine. I rebuke this red flag.
Stressed to the max. So then
I rebuke this red flag.
I'm sitting down doing my makeup, and yes, I am going because it is. I end up finding out. I think I pushed for information finally and decided to, get a nice cocktail dress.
Yeah.
And so this is a wedding that started at probably 6. So I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, I need to step it up a little bit. And so I am doing my makeup a little darker. My eyes are a little darker than normal. And he comes in there like, and it's not just what he says, it's his face. You have to understand the facial expression that I saw staring back at me in the mirror. And any confidence, any feel good that I had at that point in time about myself, gone through, just absolutely whoosh, straight out of me. It might have been one of my most embarrassing moments, I think, at that point in time. Like,
so if you're listening to this and you're still trying to gain anything out of this for your relationship, just remember, be mindful when they're in that situation. They're probably nervous. They're probably anxious. They've got a lot of stuff going through their head. And even though it was a simple question, a very, very benign question, in my opinion, it was taken completely differently. So I feel terrible about that. I am now.
Do you now?
Watch what I'm doing. I'm scratching through this. I'm making a mark through
it.
I'm making a mark through.
So we're never going to talk about this again?
Absolutely not.
However, I will say that once I moved past that, I think he had to leave at that point. Like, he needed to go because he was in the wedding party. And so I'm pretty sure I called someone. I'm not 100% sure who I called, but I definitely called and cried my eyes out. And then I sucked it up. I got ready. I put the makeup on, not quite as dark this time, and went to the wedding. It was beautiful. It was a great time. They all made me feel so welcome. We had such a good time. John and Christy, we hung out with them. That was like the first time I really got to be around them a whole lot.
Out of the 16 to 18 years we've been together, my favorite picture of all time,
we'll have to post that,
was from that wedding.
Yeah, it was from that wedding.
I mean, you want to talk about like sexy? I'm doing this look, and she's just looking at me like, this is the fucking man right here. And I'm like, hell yeah. So anyway, not even playing. When I tell you my favorite picture of all time, it was from that wedding.
And we don't, I'll have to.
So Corey and Margaret, thank y'all.
Yeah, thank y'all, Corey and Margaret. Because I'm pretty sure the wedding photographer took that picture. But I'll have to find it. I'm not even sure.
So what's a red flag for you?
No, I don't. We need to go through yours first.
We want to go through. Okay.
Yeah, let's not go back and forth. I don't
Jacksonville trip.
I'm gonna More specific.
So we went to the Georgia-Florida game again, probably early on.
This is all happening very
early on in our relationship. We were with some other friends that she probably did not.
All your friends.
Either brand new or probably didn't know them very well. Yeah.
What's wrong with me?
I wasn't going to say that, but that
It's
should have
true.
been a red flag. I'm just teasing. No, seriously, all jokes aside, I'm born and raised here. You're from Ohio.
I was going to say,
big
we should say
difference.
why. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not from here.
Yeah, you didn't even move here till you were 20 or 21.
Yeah, I was
whatever,
21 when I moved here, so I didn't grow up here. I didn't go to
So-
school here.
So Jacksonville trip. So we go to Georgia-Florida game. First time I had ever been. So clearly first time she had ever been. We've been a couple times, but this was the first one. And it was one of these deals where if you don't know anything about Annie is notoriously late to everything.
It's my human design.
Well, my human design is to fucking be on time or early. Either one of those two are acceptable to me, and Annie is the complete opposite, and it drives me insane. Now, over the years, I've gotten better at accepting it. Our friends will tell you they just understand that's what's going to happen when the Kilkos are coming. But anyhow, so we're all ready to go to this game. We're going to go tailgate down by the stadium. I mean, the tailgating is a part of this experience, and this was a big deal to me.
Yes, and we have been, first of all, we went down on Friday night.
Yep.
And we partied
We had a great
hard Friday night. It
experience.
was great.
Yep.
We had such a good time.
Yep.
And we drank a lot.
Yep.
I drank a lot.
Yep. And
I'm not a big drinker.
We were ready to go again the next day. Everybody except Annie was ready to go the next day.
Everybody except me was
So
ready
we
to go the next day.
we all get ready.
Plus, you did not set the tone. You did not put this expectation out there that I needed to be ready at like 7 o'clock in the morning.
Well, first of all, we were with Sing, and Sing goes to games at 7 o'clock in the morning.
I don't know that.
Shout out.
I don't know that.
So, anyways, it's the experience, right? You go down, and of course, it's a 3:30 game, so you're down there. You need to be down there probably 10 o'clock at the latest. But anyways, not to mention it's hard to even get down there at that time. But so anyhow, everyone gets ready. We're waiting. I suspect she and I probably get into some type of life's little argument, and she probably says something to the tone of "Just go."
I don't know. I don't think there was any argument. I think I was so hungover.
Or did I just leave? I think you were considering not even going to the game.
No, it wasn't that bad. But I was like, I'm really not feeling good. I really need food. You go ahead. I will catch up with you type thing.
Yeah.
And it was totally okay.
Yeah, so I go with our friends, and we're all down there for a few hours, and then she finally decides to make it down there, and I think tries to catch an Uber or whatever, taxi or whatever it was.
It was a disaster. First of all, I've never been to Jacksonville, so I really didn't know what to expect. I went and I caught, I guess, a taxi.
Whatever it was at the time.
No, but I ended up splitting it with this random stranger. I get in the taxi.
Because he apparently slept late too.
Yes, and he's like, "Oh, you're going downtown? Okay, I'll just ride with you." And I was like,
well, so
okay.
then she's trying to get down there, and I remember the service was terrible. I remember we're trying to tell you where we are, but we're under this huge bridge, and like trying to explain where precisely you are under a huge bridge is hard anyways. And then there's certain parts you can get in, certain parts you can't get in.
No,
so just that whole drop-off experience was
I'm like, where do I go? He's like, I mean, you come downtown, and you're going to need to go near the stadium. I'm like, okay, like where? He's like, I mean, I don't know. All I see is a bunch of tailgaters, a bridge,
bunch of drunk people,
and motorhomes around us. I'm like, great, that helps a lot. And I get out, and I'm like, I'm just randomly walking. And if you've been there and you know how this tailgate situation is, I'm just walking at row, up row, down row.
So anyhow, that should have been a red flag to say, listen, this bitch is not going to be on time to anything we do for the rest of my life.
It probably should have been a red flag for me too, that you don't have a problem just leaving me to my own devices.
Well, listen, I got that honestly from my granddad. Shout out.
God.
I was just raised that way, and that's the way it is. So
it's not the way that it is. You have an opportunity to change, and you choose not to.
Are we going through all the red flags?
Go ahead.
I have one more for this episode.
I cannot wait.
The other one is CJ's Bar. Shout out. You remember CJ's? Oh no, was it? Is it Eisenhower?
So it was Sports Spot when I was hanging out.
Whatever. It was CJ's at one point.
Okay.
Anyhow, so Annie and I.
CJ's.
We went there a couple times, and so anyhow, there was one night I think I went out by myself or with some friends or something like that, and you didn't end up going that night. And I for those who don't know me, I am a people person. I naturally flirt with people. I talk to everyone in the bar, talk to everyone everywhere.
You need to quit telling everybody you flirt with people. These women are going to be flirting with you.
That's just what I'm calling it. So anyhow, I remember toward the end of the night, I don't remember. I guess I'd called Annie to come pick me up, or she said, I'm coming to pick you up.
I doubt I just offered.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. So
I lived in Gray at the time.
So anyways, I remember I was sitting at a bar talking to these 3 girls, and I'm just chatting up with them or whatever. And I had explained.
No, hold on. I think you were doing a cornhole tournament.
It was, yeah. Actually, now you say that, I think you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now you say that, I think you're right.
And I don't know why I didn't go.
So, anyways, I don't know why you didn't go either. So, anyways, I'm talking to these girls at this table, and
you probably didn't invite me.
And you probably said you didn't want to go, which should have been a red flag. Anyways, I say something about, I think my girlfriend's coming to pick me up or whatever, and they were like, I think that's your girlfriend. I'm like, no, there's no way she's here yet. And they were like, no, I'm pretty sure that's your girlfriend. And they were like scared to move their head, but you can see their eyes moving. And I'm facing back. The back of me is facing the door. I'm like, no, she's not here. I'm just.
And this is like before iPhones. Like I think we still had like the text where you had to do like 1, 2, 3, ABC 1, 2, 3 or whatever.
And anyhow, that feeling when someone is like staring deep into your soul, even from behind. Like within 30 seconds of them girls saying, I think your girlfriend's here. That's what I felt. I mean, I could feel like the laser beams in the back of my head. And I do that slow kind of turn. I kind of do this slow kind of turn like, oh shit. And I wasn't doing anything wrong or whatever. It was just, I don't know. It was the whole situation. So anyhow, I say that's a red flag. I don't know that it's really a red flag.
It should have been a red flag because my eyes were absolutely staring a hole through you. And it was a death stare to you, but probably also to these girls. Because, well, first of all, okay, I'm 3 years older than you.
That's right.
I'm 3 years older than you. My child's older than your child or anybody that you hung around with. Like, it was just, it was a very awkward, I think, time for me. And I was very unsure of myself. I didn't have a lot of confidence. I didn't know a whole lot of people. And it just, clearly it came out in those type of situations where you for sure were drunk. There's no way that you weren't drunk because you would have driven yourself.
Yeah, of course.
Had you not been drunk. So you clearly called me. I don't know why I wasn't there, but you clearly called me to come pick you up. You're in Macon. I'm in Gray. Sure. Who knows? I might have had Jackson in the house. I might have been like, hey, hold on. I'll be right back. But I'm sure I was probably irritated from that standpoint too.
But anyways, I say that's a red flag only because
a red flag.
A flag because I felt the laser beams. Other than that, it's a legit thing. Like it probably shouldn't be a red flag either. But it's one of those things I remember very, very vividly.
I remember very, very vividly doing that, not just at CJ's, but also at Rio Bravo. Do you remember an incident at Rio Bravo where I came to pick you up?
I suspect it was a similar situation.
This is a very similar situation, yes.
Yeah. Is that going to be one of your red flags for me? Can't talk to too many people.
It should have been.
Flirts too much.
It absolutely should have been.
By the way, I think I had mentioned this before, but only one of us on this podcast has gotten most likely to flirt or biggest flirt as a senior superlative.
But yet,
if we're doing video
only
right
one
now,
of us on this podcast has never had you to come pick them up drunk, flirting with other people.
That's absolutely false.
Oh, excuse me?
Fake news.
When?
That's fake news.
When?
I don't remember. I feel like I have done that at least once or twice.
I don't think
that's
so.
Fake news.
I don't think so. You got pissed that one night I went out with Katie. I left you at home and went to Macon to hang out. And that was like the night I met, well, not really met her, I knew her, but like that's the first night. That was the beginning of our friendship, I guess I should say. But I drove home. You did not come get me. I was not like that.
Yeah.
But I don't know. So red flags, what should have been red flags for me about you? Number one, your ex. That should have been the biggest red flag. I should have ran the other way. Too many stories to go into. I'm not gonna go down that path tonight. Another red flag, and this is actually kind of funny to me. When you met Mom and Gary for the very first time, it was, we were going to a toga party. And
in your neighborhood.
You met them. I think you had regular clothes on, and then we made the toga on you.
Yeah.
But you're in a toga, and shirtless. Like, you had no shirt on or what. I don't even know what shorts you had on or whatever, but we made a full on toga.
Maybe I didn't have shorts.
I don't know. We looked really cute. I felt pretty good about myself that night. And, that was fun. But anyway, Mom was there while this whole situation was going on because I live with Mom and Gary and Gray. So let me just explain that real quick. They had a house in Florida.
Hold on. First time I went to this girl's house in Gray, I'm thinking, damn, this is a pretty nice house for a single, mother at 30 or 31, whatever you were at the time. I was like, damn, Shawty Con, that's a good looking house. Later find out it was her parents' house.
Okay. Well, first of all, it's not like that. I didn't really have an option. I had an apartment. I had a very nice apartment, and I was doing just fine. You don't have to
justify yourself.
I do have to justify. And I get a call one day, and Mom and Gary, they've been looking for a house, and Gary's like, I bought a house. I bought it in Gray. That way Jackson can go to school, start school in Gray, and you guys are going to move in with us. And I'm like, okay, I guess I don't really get a say in this. And he's like, nope, it's already a done deal. So, go ahead and let them know that you're going to be terminating your lease or whatever. So anyway, I paid them rent anyway. So that's why I lived with them. And they were only there occasionally. So this happened to be a time when they actually were there and we're doing the toga. Well, later, after we had done that, whatever, the next day, Mom tells me, she said, you reminded her of my dad when he was your age. And she said, that's not a good thing. And it just hit me funny.
I think that's why it took her so long to warm up to me.
It took a very long time for her to warm up to you. And I think probably because that you reminded her of my dad.
That toga party, that was very, very early on.
It was all very
maybe 2 weeks. Yeah. But you remember we walked through your entire neighborhood to the other end of, in togas.
It was like a horseshoe. Yeah. Yeah. So, and that was a fun.
That was a hell of a night. We had them Olympic type events and stuff.
We did, didn't we?
Yeah.
That was fun. That was we were very much into that early, horny honeymoon phase. Very horny.
Yeah. Some of us are still there. She's not so much.
That's another podcast.
That's another podcast.
Okay, so that was one. And then I think probably the others were... So we had been dating for probably, I don't know, a year or so at that point. And, for us dating a year, we are both divorced at this point in time. We both have kids. So if we've been dating that long, chances are we know where this is going to end up, right? And so you, one day, you leave work in your truck, and next thing I know, you drive up to pick me up in your brand new car. And I was like... okay, so that's not a ring. And so I'm like, okay, well, so he's not quite there yet. He's just not quite ready to propose yet. So no big deal. So we go another, I don't know, probably 6 months maybe. And this mother trucker decides he's living in an apartment first of all. And he no longer has a truck. Keep that in mind as well. This joker calls me one day and he tells me he's fixing to buy a jet ski. And I'm like, what do you mean you're buying a jet ski? Why would you buy a jet ski? You have nowhere to ride a jet ski. You have nowhere to keep a jet ski, and you have nothing to pull a jet ski. So why are you buying a jet ski? Do you remember why you were wanting to buy a jet ski?
Because it was cool. My brother-in-law has a truck he could have pulled a jet ski with.
I was beside myself. I wasn't even that mad. I was just like, no, you're not buying a jet ski. But clearly that I probably should have ran the other way. I probably should have been like, you know what? This guy, he's not ready. He is into his single life, and I need to just leave him to it.
Since that vehicle, I have owned 2 vehicles, one in which I own now. Annie has owned 8 vehicles in that same time frame.
Not by my choice.
Some of them are. Absolutely. The Buick that you had to have, and then a month later, it still looks too much like a minivan.
No, no.
So,
No.
Couple of them you've wrecked.
That was the Lincoln.
Couple of them you've wrecked.
And that's the vehicle you wanted.
Speaking of, let me ask you guys this. If you had a car in a garage, right? We're not in a garage.
Right,
if your car has both rear cameras and it has sensors, which means that if something's behind you, it's beep, 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 beep.
It's a delayed beep, 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 by the way.
It's absolutely not. It's delayed if you're on your phone.
It's delayed.
But do you think that there's ever a situation outside of someone's in your car bleeding to death, or maybe the puppies, do you think there's ever a situation where you should back out of the garage with rear cameras and rear sensors straight into someone else's vehicle?
I was late.
Now, I know the cause for this.
No. I was absolutely not on my phone. I was late. I was running very late. I was trying to get to the store because I'm the only person.
You remember me talking about
okay,
the
first
late
of all,
flag? This is an everyday occurrence. Every fucking day.
Well, you know what? Devin shouldn't have been parked behind me.
Oh, I wasn't going to say his name.
He knows it. He knows
But
it.
now that you brought it up, Jackson parks to the right side of the garage, or driveway, because Jackson didn't park in the garage. He parked in the driveway on the right side. Jackson's friend, I'm not going to say his name again.
I guarantee you, Devin comes over today,
Jackson's
he will not be parking behind me in the driveway.
There's an empty spot right next to Jackson's truck.
Why? He didn't pull up there,
and what he does, he decides to park right behind Jackson.
Bless
which,
his heart.
even with the rear camera and rear sensors,
his fault. It is not his fault.
It still was a bad parking spot. Lesson learned for everyone. But the point being,
you're really mad at yourself because you knew
that part of it is. I knew. I looked out there and I saw his car. I almost went back. I remember she was getting ready, taking a shower or something. I was leaving. I almost went back and told her, Devin's behind you. Do not back in his car. But I thought, no way. There's no fucking way this girl's going to back into someone's car that when you have a rear camera and rear sensors. Damn, she doesn't do it. And my initial reaction was I was furious.
He lost
But I was
shit.
I was furious at myself. And then she tried to play some stupid game talking about it just came out of nowhere. I did whatever. I'm like, bitch, we got security cameras. I pulled up the camera and I said, look, this didn't come out of nowhere. Your ass came barreling out of the garage and went right into freaking Devin's car. Like there was no chance. So you remember that?
I felt so bad.
You remember that?
Devin.
You remember the delay that she was talking about?
There's
a delay.
It's a delay.
Guess what? When you back out at 72 miles an hour out of a damn garage, guess what? There's gonna be a delay.
It's not 72 miles an hour.
I'm nailing that.
But you know what?
Today,
it did so much damage to
crazy.
Devin's
but
car.
barely.
And I never got my. I still have that.
So,
little
anyways,
tiny
Devin,
hole
we filed it through
in
insurance. It got fixed and all that stuff.
And I was too busy to ever take. You were so pissed off at me that you refused to take it and get it fixed. So to this day, how many years has it been? 3 years so far.
At least, yeah.
I still have that tiny little.
It just took some paint off. That's really all
No,
it did.
it's broken. It's like a little tiny. It's a hole about that big. It's like a little puncture hole. That's still there that you refused to go.
I just couldn't believe the amount of damage it did to his vehicle. But anyhow,
it was crazy. That's actually that's probably one.
That should have been a red flag.
That's like one of our worst arguments that we've had in a recent years.
Yeah, that was enough to set me off.
It
takes a lot to set me off.
You lost it. You lost it, which of course just sent me over the edge too. So even though I know it was my fault and I was wrong, but it is what it is. So anyway, we the only other red flag that I had that we probably both should have had was when we got married, and it wasn't Kent and Annie getting married; it was John and Leslie getting married.
Good gosh,
that was horrible.
This bothered her a lot more than it bothered me. So we went to the Justice of the Peace, right? I think it was in Perry or Macon. I can't remember. Anyhow,
in Macon.
Yeah. So we go and.
On just one of our days off, we just decided we already moved in. We had bought a house. We had already moved in together.
We were obviously engaged.
But we were engaged, but we had just not. I could not decide if I wanted to spend the money and have like a little small wedding. Yeah. And so we're finally like, you know what? This is stupid. Screw it. Everybody's in. Like, everybody doesn't understand. Like, I have to say, this is my fiance and I'm living with him. Like, I literally had to get you to write a letter to the school for them to
allow me to pick him up.
No, to prove that I live there to get Jackson into school in Houston County, because I had no bills in my name, because you got the house, you had started like the water and the power, and had we known that, I would have done some of that. But anyway, it was drama. So we were like, just let's go get married. And
it was on my birthday. I was off for the birthday.
We were both off that day.
So anyways, we go and we get married. And this
on your birthday. And we decided to do it on your birthday because I couldn't remember your birthday. So I thought, well, if it's my anniversary, then for sure
and
I'll
now
remember.
You can't remember the anniversary either. So I remind you of both.
We only get your birthday now.
So the justice of the peace was like, Leslie and John, you're married, what? And she starts crying. And I'm like thinking, those are happy tears. We just got married. No, those were not happy tears. She was devastated. I think she cried from the moment we said I do all the way till the car. I mean, full on bawling. Should have been a red flag. Full on bawling because this lady called us John and Leslie. Which I'm a third, by the way. I'm John Killed with a third.
And I'm Leslie Ann Kilco. Yeah. So, but it just wasn't us, and it didn't feel like us. And we didn't have like vows. Like,
so have we talked about our reception? I can't remember.
We have not talked about it. So might as well add that in there.
We're and this is really just getting to know us and kind of who we are and how we got,
Nothing wrong with the reception.
Yeah.
I suppose.
If you don't like fancy receptions.
Right, exactly.
So anyways, we're driving back to town, and I was like,
we hadn't told anybody either.
Right. And I said, let me call my mom.
Yeah.
So I called my mom. I said, hey, Mom, I got something to tell you or whatever. She, of course, Mom's intuition knew immediately. She said, y'all went and got married, didn't you? I said, God darn it, how'd you know that? So anyhow, I don't remember if we said we're on our way or if she said, I think that we said something like, we're going to go eat at Sonny's.
No.
Or do you remember how that happened? Not Sonny's, Shakey's.
Yeah, Shakey's. I think we had gone a couple times and we were just like, we're off. Let's just go to Shakey's. We don't ever get to go.
Okay.
And we were like, we're just going to go to Shakey's. And you told her that, I guess.
Yeah. And the next thing you know, they're there. Brian and Angie show up. Casey Durham shows up. It was so just random. It was like several people just kind of ended up showing up just to, I don't know, have an impromptu.
Casey is kind of random considering.
Oh, yeah. So let me tell you a story about Casey. So anyway, Shakey's, it ended up being like,
we called our reception at Shakey's. Yeah, it was funny.
So Casey Durham, shout out. I've known him for several years, and anyhow, his name comes up or something. She sees a picture or something like that. I'm like how do you know Casey Durham? This beast met Casey Durham on a dating site one time.
What?
And I was like, it was like before dating sites were like real big.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember what the name of it was.
But anyways, and she told me that, I was like, okay. I don't know that I can do this anymore. I got to draw the line somewhere. I don't think y'all actually ended up.
No, we did. I think we might have messaged back and forth one time, but that was it. And
so anyways, I was like, small world. So anyway, I still rack her to this day about that.
That's funny.
About how I lucked out and not Casey. So
I lucked out. No offense, Casey.
No, I love Casey. He's a great dude. I really do.
Good guy. Anyway, so that I thought it would just be fun to kind of go through some of our red flags, and we
didn't mean to go down memory lane like that, but we did.
That
was fun.
I have decided that I really enjoy this podcast because I was thinking about the fact that as long as like these podcast apps stay around, or I keep this on a drive somewhere, that we're gonna have it forever. So at the point in time where my dementia, my Alzheimer's really kicks in, and I don't remember you, I don't remember Jackson anymore, then, he'll have these to go back and listen to. So I think this is super cool, and we're definitely going to keep doing it. Whether anybody listens to us or not, it doesn't really matter. We're doing it, because we're having fun with it. So I'm enjoying it. I want to know what kind of red flags that you guys had, or there were red flags that you should have paid attention to.
Yeah. Let us know where you posted. Yeah.
Yeah. You looked at me and I looked at you like, where are they supposed to
Right, exactly. I was like, on Instagram,
Yes. So on Instagram at Life's Little Arguments, you can DM us there. And that's the only place, I think.
Yeah.
I'll make a post.
And I guarantee if you all say red flag, we're going to be like, dang, we got those too. Yeah. I mean, a lot of people have some of the same ones, I suspect.
Yeah, of
But
course.
if there's some unique ones that are funny just to you guys and you would like to share, we'd love to hear it.
I absolutely would love to hear them. And we, if you are okay with us sharing them, we will do that. We absolutely will not share any type of names or anything like that. But I think that would be a lot of fun.
Yep.
So anyway, we have enjoyed this episode, kind of going down memory, and we hope that you guys have enjoyed it. If you are enjoying us and our podcast, please give us a rate and review, a 5-star review. We would love to hear what you think, but we would also really love 5 stars.
Yeah.
Wherever you listen to your podcast.
If it's less than 5 stars, we don't want to hear it. You can send us a message
send
probably
us a
for that.
personal message and tell us how much you hate us if it's less than that. But we appreciate you guys so much for showing up, and we hope that you're enjoying it. And we will talk to you guys next week.
One last shout out for Anthony, Big Dick Pole Vaulter.
Oh, man.
Love you guys.
Love you guys. Bye.
See ya.